This one is quite dear to me. It's something that I keep coming back to. My experience is that we can try all kinds of things to improve our health, but ultimately, if there are unprocessed emotions stuck deep inside of us, chances are we might still struggle with one or more chronic conditions. So let's dive into it. Our emotions, the ones we often pretend aren't there, might be messing with our health more than ultra-processed foods or even the chemicals in our environment. We talk about stress all the time, but do we really get what it's doing to the body? When I was young and I would feel sick, my parents would take me to the doctor, and more often than not, he couldn't find anything really wrong with me. So he would just say, "It's just stress." Nothing more, just those words. I didn't really get it at the time, and I didn't really get it for a long time. Only in recent years did I start putting the pieces together. And now I understand he was probably right. But I'm not sure he knew himself why he was right. So stress doesn't just make us feel bad, it rewires us. It floods our system with hormones. It scrambles our brain. It slows down healing, and over time, it can make us chronically sick. And that's just the beginning. Let's talk science, but the kind that actually makes sense. When we're stressed, our body activates something called the sympathetic nervous system, also known as fight or flight. That's helpful when we're being chased by a lion, not so helpful when we're just late for a meeting. Here's what happens. Our brain tells our adrenals to pump out cortisol and adrenaline. Our heart rate goes up, blood rushes to our muscles, ready to fight or to run, and digestion, it's paused. Detox, also paused. Immune system, suppressed. Reproductive hormones, not a priority right now. In fact, our body literally hits pause on healing because it thinks we're in danger. Now, imagine living that for months or years. Chronic stress keeps our system in a loop, and that loop causes inflammation, digestive issues, hormonal imbalances, burnout, and eventually the kind of fatigue that no green juice can really fix. I've experienced that firsthand, the digestive issues, the burnout, and at some point I thought I had fibromyalgia or a host of other diseases. But now I know most of it was simply due to stress messing around with my internal processes. And just so you know, I'm still working on it. But wait, there's more. Things that my doctor 30 years ago definitely did not share with me. We're also electrical beings, really. Every cell in our bodies runs on voltage. Our heart beats because of an electrical signal. In fact, when we're getting an ECG, the device is actually measuring the electrical signals in our heart. Also, our brain fires neurons via tiny electrical impulses. And guess what stress does? It scrambles our internal wiring. Chronic negative emotions alter our bioelectric field, lowering cellular voltage, disrupting detox pathways, and literally slowing down regeneration. Now, let's bring in something that Western medicine often ignores. In traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, each emotion is linked to an organ. Anger is stored in the liver, fear in the kidneys, grief in the lungs, worry in the spleen, joy, when imbalanced, can even disturb your heart. Have you ever had a heartbreak and felt like your chest literally ached? That's not just a metaphor, that's energy. These ancient systems saw the body as a symbiotic dance between emotions and organs. When emotion is stuck, so is the energy flow. And when energy doesn't flow, well, we get symptoms. Now let's go deeper. What if that chronic fatigue, that autoimmune flare-up, that strange recurring symptom isn't just physical? What if it's our body protecting us from an emotional experience that we never fully processed? Because trauma, especially the kind we don't remember, it lives in the body, not just the mind. As Dr. Gabor Mate, a Hungarian-born Canadian physician, said, trauma is not what happens to you. It's what happens inside you as a result of what happens to you. Sometimes the body says, this is too much. I'm going to shut down part of your perception so you can survive. So a child who sees something too painful might start losing eyesight. Someone who feels unheard for years might develop voice issues. Long-term overwhelm can trigger chronic fatigue, brain fog, even autoimmune conditions. There's solid science in the field of psychoneuroimmunology showing how emotional trauma alters immunity, inflammation, and even gene expression. Here's the kicker. It's not just about what happened to us. It's about what we didn't get to feel. Because most of us weren't taught how to feel emotions. We were taught to manage, hide, or get over it, especially for boys. But emotions aren't Tupperware. You can't just ignore them and expect them to keep fresh. Eventually, they leak. They leak through the skin, through the gut, through the heart. And suddenly, you find yourself crying in traffic because someone took your parking space. But really, you may be suddenly grieving something from 15 years ago. So here's a reframe. What if our symptoms aren't failures? What if they're messages? Whispers from the body saying, hey, something's off. Please slow down. Please feel. What if our back pain is resentment? Our recurring lung infection? Unspoken grief? Our digestive issues? Or fear we haven't admitted yet? What if our body isn't broken? It's just speaking a language no one ever taught us to listen to. So, what do we do with all this? Let's bring it back to earth. Here are some simple, powerful things we can start with. Breath work, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Shaking or dancing, or any sort of physical activity, which helps discharge stored stress. Personally, I just like moving around in the garden. There's journaling as well. It gives emotions a voice. There's talking to your organs. Yes, really. Say, liver, I hear you. Thank you for holding that anger. You can release it now. Remember the book or movie Eat, Pray, Love? When Liz arrived in Bali, the old sage Ketut suggested to her to not only learn to smile with her face, but also smile with her liver. That says it all. Then there's laughter, instant vibration lifter. And above all else, you've got mindfulness. That's when we start noticing what we're actually feeling, not what we think we should be feeling. So no, you're not too sensitive. You're not broken. Because if you are, then I am also, and I don't want to be broken. Your body isn't betraying you. It's on your side. It has always been. You just need to listen, because healing isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about feeling more. I'm learning to do that myself every day. So let us feel, let us cry, shake, scream into a pillow, or just sit with our hearts. That's not weakness. That's repair, both emotional and physical. And it may well be the real answer to all those little and not so little bodily issues that have been bothering us for a long time. If this resonated with you or reminded you of someone you care about who might be hyper-stressed or dealing with stuck emotions, hit that like button, share it, or leave a comment below. And of course, feel free to subscribe, because we're just getting started on this journey of feeling, healing, and remembering who we are.